Today on Drawbli.
Ben is drawing snacks.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we're drawing together because art is better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And check out Brush Club at the link below.
Snacks, Ben. Are we snacks? Do we consume them?
Are we snacks?
You're a total snack.
Wow.
As they say.
It's true. I know it. Anyway, I'm working on using the Lunchbox brush pack here. And specifically, I'm starting off with that apple slice brush pack, brush. So what better to paint or draw than apples? Apple slices.
You have painted many apples in your time as a Drawbli artist.
This is true. I enjoy creating apples. They're fun, they're not too complicated, and it's really exciting to play around with textures with them. You can go wild.
You really can. You learn so much about art just by painting the humble apple.
So I really liked my sketch with the apple slice brush. I will say I kind of lost the sauce in the painting. I feel like I went too crazy with too many textures, but I rein it in by the end.
Wow.
So I think that's, I don't know. I feel like I do this a lot, but it feels like kind of an exploratory kind of thing where I want to use everything, but I feel like you can't always use everything. So
I get that. It becomes too much for the eye. There's not one spot that seems to call for attention when all spots seem to call for attention.
Yeah, so I like to play around with, especially when I'm playing around with one of our newer brush packs like Lunchbox, I like to play around with every brush to get a good feel for how they all like interact with my process. So while I'm experimenting with all those different brushes, I feel like I'm also trying to create something that looks visually interesting, and I kind of lose track of time a little and spend a little too long on things. So this is such a simple artwork, but I spent, I think, like 3 or 4 hours painting this.
That's okay. There's no due date.
No, there's not, but I've created way more amazing artworks in like 30 minutes or 60 minutes.
My sweet spot for like something I'm truly like pretty pleased with is still about 4 hours.
I think so too.
To max out on my abilities. And lately, I think I'm working on one now that I'm already pushing that 4-hour mark, and there's still more where I'm like, no, I can improve that. Like, so we're starting to see me come into my 5-hour era.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what comes out of it. I'm working on something right now that's I've just been having
Top secret,
a blast
can't talk about it?
But it's a picture of a girl. Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Is it a portrait?
No, it's mostly whole body in a very simple environment. I think I was showing you the beginnings of it the other day where I did a whole sunflower painting just for the background.
Yeah. That was very cool.
Yeah, it was fun to do. The devil's in the details, and I wanted the devil in this picture. Ha ha ha. Not really. Stay out of my pictures, devil.
Okay, Appalachian Abby. Scared of the devil entering her photographs.
They get in through your eyes.
Oh no.
Oh, I like what you're doing there with the peanut butter and this brush in particular for like adding a lot of like color splash and change.
Yeah, so while working on this, I was jumping around as much as possible from brush to brush, and I found a few that I really gravitated towards that I did not expect. The Peaches brush is more of a watercolor style painting brush, and in the past I've avoided watercolor painting brushes in Procreate, but for some reason I don't know why. I actually have no idea why I avoided them.
I know why.
Because they're amazing. They're super cool. Well, maybe because they're like more soft.
They're more soft.
Yeah, that's
I already
probably
knew.
it. Yeah, they're like softer, they blend the paint. I'm more like to do harder edges.
You're a man of hard edges. You're so edgy.
I'm so edgy. Yeah, so that's probably why. But yeah, the Peaches brush, I'm actually a huge fan of. It's super fun to use.
Yeah, I love the Peaches brush. A Lunchbox as a brush set, I am just obsessed with it. I think I absolutely adore all the brushes that are in it. I love the texture and feel of both yogurt and egg bite.
Yeah, those are super fun
Those
too.
are really good
So
ones.
those are kind of like, one of them's more of a fine line and the other one is similar but with some more texture or more grit to it.
Yeah, they just have just enough softest edge at the edge of like the brush itself that like everything you create just has this little bit of like life to it in that way. It's not all like sharp. but there's plenty of options for sharpness as well. Not to mention selection tools.
Yeah, so the Peaches brush, which I'm using quite a lot in this painting, is something where if you just put your pen down and like try to paint with it, nothing happens, or it will just like blend the paint around. But if you tap a lot, you can like add paint and then mix it around. It's super cool. Like it took me, I messed around with this brush probably longer than any other brush in this pack to get it to a place where I liked it. And the settings that I landed on, I'm really happy with.
Yes, I think it's super cool. The first time I used it, I've had this old like water brush pack that I got off the internet somewhere in my Procreate brushes for a long time that I just do not tend to return to, despite liking like watercolor brushes. This brush, Peaches, is so different from those, like these just like standard pack of watercolor brushes. It really has something to offer that I had not seen before, and I really like it. As somebody who does enjoy blending, but is really like uncertain, like, oh, am I over blending? I feel like the Peaches is this happy, sweet, medium spot where you're like, I'm not just blending everything out, but I'm still getting that like intermingling of colors and textures that I really want.
And that's like the whole point, is to just like get something once a month in your inbox from Brush Club that's fun, that's interesting, that gets you maybe outside of your comfort zone, gets you experimenting. That's the whole point.
It feels like an art challenge, honestly, where you're like, new brush pack. Okay, what am I going to create with this? I have to, and it's kind of like, what if I just stick to these brushes? Like, what could I create? What's the best thing I can do? Just
with that brush pack. And that's actually what I do with artworks. I pretty much stick to one brush pack per artwork.
Yeah. And it gives you, like, I love the names for them, like things that contain other things, like spell book, and here's all the spells, lunchbox, and here's all the little snacks. I think that gives me a lot of inspiration for reference, you know, because sometimes you get stuck in that reference hole of just like, do I want to draw this? Do I want to draw this? Do I want to draw this? And you're like, you know what? The theme is lunchbox, so why not do some food in here? And then that is enough to get you going, to get to know the brushes. And then next thing you know, you're just like, oh, for this other thing, I'm returning to the lunchbox brush set because I know I like those brushes in there.
Well, yeah, in the monthly emails as well, there's a lot of inspiration for challenges where you can win free brushes, which is really cool. So free brushes are given out every month, a free brush pack of somebody's choice who participates in the challenge, and you get featured on the website and the newsletter. But the newsletter also has like other bits of inspiration for getting people to draw more.
Yeah, I am super excited for this. It is very cool, and I have never seen anything like it. Also, I probably didn't do like any of the work on it compared to you, so I just get to be delightfully surprised.
You get to enjoy some fun brushes.
I'm Brush Club's most enthusiastic member.
That is okay.
I love it. I love it. It did inspire me to try like creating some brushes though the other day. I tried to make some and start to like explore that avenue. And it's hard. It's actually really hard to do.
It is hard. It takes quite a bit of time.
Like certain if you're going for something very specific, then yeah, it does take a lot of time.
Yeah, just one brush can take quite a while. But it's worth it.
So worth it.
It's worth it to have some new inspiration.
Yeah, and just like the inspiration alone, I mean, I think that even if, you know, some brushes ended up being similar to each other, which so far they have not been, but if that ended up being the case, I still would love it just for the sake of like the inspiration and excitement of like unboxing a new brush, you know, brush set. It's just motivation in a little pack.
Yeah. This episode of Drawbli turned into one long ad for Brush Club, but hey, that's okay.
Yeah, it's new. We're excited about it.
Yeah, so if you want to check out Brush Club, there's a link below. It's $5 a month. Check it out. And don't forget to click that like and subscribe button.
Yeah, and this is the part where we say goodbye.
Goomba. And Abby, what is your favorite thing to find in a lunchbox?
Lately I've been finally learning that trail mix is actually good and not gross.
Yeah, trail mix is awesome.
I only just decided that at the ripe age that I am right now.
400.
Yes.